Hello, everyone. I am so sorry. It is 3:15. I'm 15 minutes late, and that's because my last interview went 15 minutes too long. I normally have my watch alarm set, and I didn't to remind me to cut off. I apologize for that. 14 interviews today. How Not to Age came out in China today, so that's part of the big. That's part of my big interview day. So again, I apologize. My voice is hurting a little bit, but I figured let's take advantage of what we can to see if we can squeeze in some a few questions before my next interview in 15 minutes. Okay, so let's see if coming in so late we don't got a lot of questions. Oh, we have a lot of questions. Okay. All right. Quick intro. Well, you know who I am. I'm gonna skip the intro. I'm gonna skip the intro. I feel so bad. Okay. Let's see what questions you have. All right. This one is from Meg. Says we have a plant-based cardiologist. Okay. There's no question. They're just passing on some info. Keen says, any update on whether your videos on therapeutic uses of psychedelics? Oh, fantastic question. Psychedelics was on my list of topics. It's so fascinating, such an incredible area. There's finally been some placebo-controlled trials. You say, wait a second, how do you do a placebo-controlled trial, right? You kind of notice when you're on mushrooms or whatever. But no, how about we anesthetize people, make people unconscious, then give them mushrooms or not? They have no idea when they wake up afterwards whether they were on mushrooms or not. Does it actually change your brain? Does it actually do anything? Or do you actually need to have that component? So many interesting questions. I wanted to do a deep dive into this, so the whole ketamine stuff, and I really wanted to cover it all. Is there, or is MDMA going to hurt our brains? And just so many questions that I just don't know the answers to, and I was eager to find out. I get a lot of questions about it. Unfortunately, I had to start the new book, the How Not to Hurt book, before I got to psychedelics. Not before I collected the research. Let's see what it came out to psychedelics. Or maybe I already moved it on. Yeah. Oh God. So I put it in my 2027 batch. That's how long it's going to take for me to come out with this set. Yeah. So it's not going to be done until after the book deadline, which is next year. So that's the first time I'll be able to even peek at it. Oh, there's my psychedelics folder. So I bought the 300 meg worth of PDFs. Let's see how many. Yeah. So a couple hundred articles on ayahuasca, LSD, mescaline, microdosing. Talk about safety. So I have the research. It's there. I just have to read it and write it, and unfortunately it all fell down before I was able to jump on it. So earliest I get to it is next April. Apologize. And then of course I have to do a whole nother literature review, because then there's going to be another year's worth of articles. So I apologize. It's going to be a while, but it is something that I'm interested in and do want to do a deep dive on. Okay. That's interesting. I'm just going through. A lot of people are saying hi. I feel bad that I kept everybody waiting. Any data? This is actually something I looked into. This is what do they call it? There's like some like, it's not a seaweed, it's actually like grows on the shores, but like in brackish water, so it actually pulls up salt. So it's like this salty moss or something, this plant that has a high salt content, and so it's a way to add salt to a food secretly. Let me look, just so people will remember. Let me look at that really quick, because it has, you're not going to see it like that on the on the food label, you are going to see is it glasswort? I don't think you're going to see that on the either. Sea beans? Boy, there's lots of different names. All right. Pickleweed? Anyway, so I'm trying to think. It was there was a whole food plant-based muffin mix company that wait a second, how do you have a whole food plant-based muffin? Well, what can you use for sweetener? You can use date powder, right? Whole food. But what do you use for salt? Anyone who's baked, you add salt to baked goods to, change flavor profile. If it's whole food plant-based, there can't be any salt in it. And so what they used is this ingredient. And so I was like, oh, all right, well, let's look it up. And so they're effectively just adding salt. I mean, I forget, it's like 30% of the weight of this plant is pure salt. It just sucks up the salt from the seawater. And so, I mean, you look at the sodium, it's off the charts as you'd expect, as if you just added salt. So it's kind of a sneaky way. And so I contacted them. I was like, you can't do this. You can't get away with this. And so they actually changed it to potassium chloride, which is the way to do it. You move from sodium salt to potassium salt. So that's the way you can actually cut down on sodium. So I would not eat this really salty plant, even though it's like a whole food, right? But it's too much sodium. Yeah. If you want your food salty, use potassium chloride, or season it in a way where you don't need it so salty. Okay. Oh, Tammy says she has granola in the oven right now. I'm jealous. Let's see what else we have here. Tyler says, if I make a smoothie with 80% of my vitamin mineral intake in it, will absorb the nutrients that I need. Well, I mean, it depends on your vitamin mineral status. Your body actually, if you're low on calcium, your body absorbs more calcium. If you're low in iron, your body absorbs more iron, and vice versa. If you have too much iron, your body actually doesn't want too much, and so puts the brakes on. But yeah, I mean, you could, if you had one meal a day that had 100% of your nutrient needs, you would stay alive. You don't have to split it up through the day. Your body would, probably the first day be like, whoa, one meal, we got all this manganese or whatever. But it'll eventually get to be like, oh, I guess that's what we're doing these days, one meal a day. And so I got to take my entire manganese, allotment in this one meal, and it'll do it. Our body's pretty smart. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. In fact, I think for a lot of people, the breakfast smoothie is probably the healthiest meal of the day. That's one of the great things about smoothies is you can add all sorts of noxious stuff. My smoothie this morning had so many broccoli sprouts, it was almost too much. I've been trying to experiment with adding more and more broccoli sprouts, and it's like, I don't taste them at all. It's amazing, right? You mix it with the berries and, and you just don't taste the broccoliness at all. Okay. You do. Today was the first day I was like, okay, my smoothie tastes like broccoli, but it was a lot of broccoli sprouts. Anyway, so no, but right, I would not want to eat that many broccoli sprouts throughout the day because it has a really kind of spicy flavor, or radishy bite to it. But you smoke the smoothie. You can add all sorts of greens and the amla and stuff that's just normally nasty. So you could have just so much nutrition. And then even if you falter later in the day and then at least you got a good solid base. So that's I'm down with that strategy. Although tomorrow I'm adding less broccoli sprouts. All right. Let me see. HG. Oh yeah, China. That's great. What am I eating today? So this morning I had my sprout disaster. So you make your own sprouts, broccoli sprouts, super easy to make. I think it's 25 cents per cup, sprout them yourselves. So like on a nutrition per dollar basis, probably impossible to beat. Maybe it's a good sweet potato comes close, but it's pretty amazing. Anyway, and so God, the list of stuff I have in my smoothie, it would take all day. But for lunch, I had leftover. Well, see, this is my. I knew I had 14 interviews today, so I didn't have time to actually make food. And so I have leftovers of a wonderful spaghetti sauce with packed with veggies. Got some artichoke hearts in there, and so had that on some whole wheat spaghetti, and then supper. I'm going to do purple sweet potato fries. And then I don't know what else, but I'm excited for my purple sweet potato fries. They're so hard to find in rural Virginia. Not all of us can, live in big fancy cities, but I finally found a source of purple sweet potatoes. I haven't had them in a while, so I'm super excited to make some fries. Anyway, all right. Next up, Sillyhead, not one, not two, but Sillyhead 5 says, if I could see one study get performed, what would I want to put to the test? I'm a big fan. Well, so there's studies that would be really useful and interesting scientifically, but ultimately it's all about making people's lives better. And so, in which case, so those are two different things. In terms of having an actual impact on the world, it would probably be, a disease reversal study. That excites people. You do some basic science thing, which unveils some really interesting thing about some random enzyme. Maybe in 20 years that does something interesting to help people. But if you want the kind of bang for your buck right now, so I've been working on How Not to Hurt, this pain management book through lifestyle. And there's this Plans for Joints, the series of amazing studies called Plans for Joints on osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, randomizing people to a whole food plant-based diet and seeing remarkable benefits. And, osteoarthritis is the leading cause of physical disability among older men and women. The fact that you can so improve pain and function just by changing people's diets, that is so cool. And so those are the kind of studies I would like to see, where people within a matter of weeks, they change their diet and not just their lab values change, but their day-to-day function changes. They can go up and down stairs without hurting. They can play with their grandkids more, and super common, not some rare little niche disease. That is so I'd love to see. How about back pain studies? There haven't been any. I take that. So there haven't been any plant-based dietary intervention studies for back pain. But I was about to say there haven't been any randomized controlled dietary trials for back pain. There actually were. So I think there was a Mediterranean one. Anyway, but I'd like to see plant-based since, blood flow through the vertebral arteries may indeed play a role in certain types of low back pain. It would be nice to see if you actually improve that circulation. Would you actually see some benefit? That hasn't been done. So yeah. So disease reversal studies, common chronic disease reversal studies, that can excite the imagination, grab headlines, and get people thinking, oh my God, particularly physicians thinking, wow, I have, 100 people in my practice with this exact same condition that's really frustrating to treat. I can't make them better. Every time they come to the office, I wish I could give them something, but what am I going to do? Give them another opioids prescription or something? No. Now all of a sudden there's a tool to actually make people feel better. That's amazing. So that's the kind of study I would do. And unfortunately, we're out of time. That's my fault because I'm late. And I apologize for that. This last interviewer got an extra 15 minutes. Little do they know, because I must not have set my alarm. It was a good interview. But anyway, okay, on to my next. Have a wonderful summer, everybody in the Northern Hemisphere, and take care of yourself.